faith in you. Why in the world should somebody buy from you if they are going through your sales copy and they do not even feel like can have any faith in you whatsoever? I'm going to tell you right now, this first sentence that I got up here is something that is you need to pay attention to. Because with all the hype, with all the scams, with all the fake information that's being given through advertising right now, skepticism sets in pretty fast, and it has set in very fast. I want you to even stop and think about all of your buying experiences that you've had and how many of them you feel have been something that was maybe misleading or you did not have a good experience from it. What does that start putting in your mind when you show up to the next sales copy that is presented to you? Right away, you're looking for anything in there that is going to cause you to say, I have no faith in this person, and for you to leave. Your mind is going to start setting up a defense the moment you get there, and if you're going to write effective copy, you're going to have to overcome the mindset that is going on right now with a lot of the market. And you need to stop and think about what your mindset is right now about the market and what you see when you go to sales page or your buying experiences. What is it going to take to overcome you and overcome your mindset to make you believe something different? So as you're reading somebody's sales copy, go through there, and if you find something that makes you all of a sudden feel like you can trust this person, I want you to go back and I want you to reread that and find out where in the world that happened. What it was that caused that to happen, to have that mindset switch that while you were going through that, because that is going to be something that you can use as your own. So make sure that you pay attention to the things that you're reading and be very conscious when you feel your mindset is made a switch where you all of a sudden start feeling like you can trust this person. What was it that got you to that point? Those are some things that you need to be paying attention to. You need to make your prospect consider what you're telling them is the irrefutable truth. Build your credibility by offering statistics and testimonials. Now be very careful with these, especially when you're talking about statistics and testimonials. They have got to be real. Do not falsify them. Many times you're going to see these sales pages where they got these outlandish numbers on them. Yes, that person probably made that amount of money. Was it using what they are saying they did? Maybe and maybe not. But the thing that you have to understand is that it has to be able to be a typical result if you're going to say, you can do this too. If you've got people that are sending you in testimonials saying, man, I made thousands and thousands of dollars using this very course or whatever, you better be able to prove it, and you need to let people know whether or not they were typical results. I would go read the FTC guideline rules and just do a Google search for the FTC rules guidelines and read what it says about statistics and testimonials and get a good feel of what kind of testimonials you can use. A lot of people will ask us, when you're doing things like adding sales copy with private label rights, it's like you didn't supply us with any testimonials. Well, one of the reasons for that being is because they have to be your real results. There's ways to go about getting those, but they have to be real results. So be very careful, but they are an excellent way to help build credibility and to build trust. So maybe you've got somebody that was very satisfied with your support. They were satisfied with the product. They got good results. Maybe you're not telling the results that they got, but they're talking about your credibility and you as a person to help you build that trust with your visitor that's reading. Create confidence in the viewer's eyes as to your credentials, your background, and your heartfelt story. Your story, I'm telling you, is going to be one of those things that is going to be very important. So start crafting your story that you have. Don't be thinking that my story is just going to sound like just everybody else's. It's not. Everybody is a unique individual. We have a unique story. Some of it may be just alike. We can say that several of us were to the point where we're ready to lose everything, but we still have some uniqueness. Discover the uniqueness of who you are and put it into there. But these kind of things are going to help you build that trust and that faith in your prospective buyer at that time. So go into depth on who you are. Don't be afraid to go and reveal who the real you is. Be sincere in your message, and that's something that's going to be felt. If you are really trying your best to be sincere, it's going to come out through your sales copy. And be professional. A lot of people will just go about things trying to write their sales copy and stuff, and it doesn't come across as being professional. And one of the things you also can go talk about here that's going to help build faith in is to have your sales page where it's formatted in a professional format. You've seen several sales copies out there where you look at them. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But where they just were a mess. Where it didn't come right away. You go, that's somebody that's a beginner, not very professional. It doesn't really give you a lot of trust and confidence in that person. Trust is one of the main ingredients in building a relationship with your potential customers. When people build trust in you and your products, services, they will buy. And ways to achieve this trust are to personalize. Your audience wants to read what speaks to them directly because it's the kind of writing they can relate to. And when you've done the research and know who that person is, it's going to feel just like you're talking to them. Ensure your sales copy is personalized so that readers will feel that it's written for their interest and needs specifically in mind. Not just a bunch of people that might be like them in general, but you need to make sure that they're feeling like it's written specifically for them. And a lot of times you can read sales copy out there where you go, wow, how did they know? How did they figure out who I am? And when you're doing that, when that's happening, that person isn't writing specifically for you. I mean, they are in a way because they probably did the research and figured out who you are, because you're part of their target audience. But they don't know who you are except for the research they've done. They don't know your name. They're not going to call you by name usually. But it feels exactly like they did. Like they just got to know who you were and then sat down and wrote sales copy for you. Empathize with them. Your reader wants to feel that you understand their needs and wants. Your reader needs to feel that this person, which is you, understands what I want and understands the problems I am facing. I don't know how many times I've received emails that says, I don't know how you did it, but you completely understand. I just feel that you understand everything that I'm going through. You understand the problems that I am facing, and I know that, by this, that you've got the solution that I need, and I just want to thank you for that. And that's what you need to convey in your sales message, is that they feel that you understand them, and you understand the problems that they're facing. So make sure that you're empathizing with the reader. Number 3, persuade. Persuasion copywriting focuses on benefits and not features. It sells on emotion and reinforces the decision to buy with logic. It paints a compelling picture and an irresistible offer. It's going to show that person in their mind what it is going to feel like, by choosing this, and when they receive the benefits from this package. That picture is just going to begin to, manifest in their mind, and it's going to create an irresistible offer. A lot of people are, what creates an irresistible offer? Well, a lot of times you can do that through through your copy, but also if you're going to do this through your copy, make sure that product actually is irresistible once they get it, that everything is actually there. The combination of these elements persuades your reader to act and to act now. This is persuasive writing at its very best. Prove your trustworthiness and believability. This goes right along with what we were talking about a few minutes ago, but include testimonials of satisfied customers. Use full names and locations where possible, because a lot of times I've had people actually take those names and get a hold of those people to actually contact them and basically verify that, yes, indeed, they were getting results. Give that person that opportunity. They might not ever do anything like that, but if they feel that they have that opportunity to do that, that gives them an ease in their mind where they can go, well, I could just call that person up if I really wanted to, or I got a name, email, I could get a hold of that person, go to their website, contact them to find out if this testimonial is really true. Inject facts and research findings to support your claims. Include a picture of yourself or pictures of satisfied customers. This is going to relate to people. Always include a picture on your sales page. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Cite any awards or third-party reviews that the product or services has received. One of the things that a lot of people will do is if they've had a number one product on ClickBank, they will take that and they'll put it on their sales copy and say, this product was a number one seller, on ClickBank, which tells that person, it basically tells the person that's reading that, a lot of other people are grabbing this as well. So, it must be good. What drives your customer? What kind of things are they